The time, the early 2000s. The place, Bremerhaven, Germany. The location, a club called Pumpwerk, where the house jacks, myself included, were performing for an audience about 2/3 of which were all in one company, and they were blowing off steam as a group to come hear some contemporary a cappella. Anyway, they'd had themselves a couple of German beers or more by the time the second half of the show rolled around, and when one of the members of the house jacks stepped forward and said, "Our next song will be," someone in the back yelled, "Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire!" And we were like, no, our next song will, and then there was some other, and we couldn't get to the next tune. And finally someone yelled out, "James Brown, I Feel Good." And we were like, guys, let's just sing this and get them to shut up so we can go on with our show. One guy stepped forward and went, "I feel good." And the rest of us just kind of jumped into, and we just made up the song. And at the end, we looked at each other and we were like, wait, we can actually do this. And the audience was going wild. And so we realized, like, if we could figure out how to take audience requests as an a cappella group, we'd unlock a whole new level to what's possible in a show. Now, for those of you who are watching this and don't really understand why it'd be more difficult for an a cappella group to take requests than, say, a party band or whatever, well, we don't have multi-harmonic instruments. So a piano can play a chord and you know that the root, third, and fifth will all be there, and one person's in charge of all this, so you can strum some chords and it's all right there. With an a cappella group, all you can really make is one note at a time, so you gotta make sure that other people are on the other notes and who knows who's gonna be where, and especially with a 5-person group, it's not so easy, but we figured it out. So right now, today, I'm gonna share with you live from Camp A Cappella how to take audience requests. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Number one, the solo. Now, why do you start with the solo? Well, whoever actually knows the solo is gonna be the focal point of the song, so you need that person to step up and forward and start singing the song. They get to pick their key, they get to pick the part of the song they start in, they get to pick the tempo. They're really going to be saying, okay, plant a flag in the moon, here we are, this is what we're doing, and this is where we are. Make sense? Now, that person might not know exactly the lyrics, that's fine. They kind of make them up. They kind of start hum and whatever. And if you don't even know the lyrics at all, you just start making up something about what's going on. And I noticed you've got this on the table over there, and here we are in this town, and it was a sunny day today, whatever. You can just make stuff up. People don't care because they love that you're at least trying to do it. So once you get that rolling along, it's time for number two. Number two, vocal percussion. See, as soon as a person starts singing lead, the vocal percussionist knows where the groove is gonna be and can come in right away with that groove and start laying down the tempo on top of it. And already it starts to sound like a song, which is really nice. And then shortly thereafter, number three, the bass. The bass can come right underneath in that key, in that tempo, and lay down the bass line. And honestly, the bass line for most songs isn't that hard. And most basses worth their weight in testosterone, I don't know, is able to jump right into the song in that particular key and sing the bass part, right? I mean, that's kind of a bass thing. The songs on the radio and they kind of sing the bass. They get good at it. They should get good at it. And so then you've got lead vocal percussion, bass going along, and you've already got enough of the pieces moving forward, which gets you to number four, the inner harmonies, the garbage notes. This is where I shine. This is where your music director is gonna shine. This is where the people who, when they sing along with the radio, never sing the melody, really shine, because you get to jump around and be like, oh, I'll do parallel thirds with the melody, but then it gets wonky here, and I'm gonna go down and do some fifths with the bass, and then I'm gonna sing these inner things, and I'm gonna do an ooh here, and there's a thing that goes on in the background of the song that goes waka chicka waka, so I'll jump on that. Basically, you get to be the utility player who runs all around and jumps in all these different parts. And the weight's off your shoulders a little bit because you've already got this nice, solid groove going. You've got your melody, you've got your bass, you've got your percussion, and that's not, it's kind of like free skate, all play. You can do whatever, and if you start singing something that doesn't quite fit, you kind of back off and you ease into the next thing. And the magic really happens there in those inner voices, because if you start nailing parts or whatever, the audience, that's when even the musicians in the back of the house are like, holy, how are they doing this? So that's really fun, but that's not it. Time for number five. get crazy. People are not there to hear you do a request and expect you to be perfect. And in fact, there were a couple times when we would take requests and they were songs that we'd gotten before, or they were easy 3-chord songs, and we did them so well that the audience thought it was a setup. You know when you've seen Whose Line Is It Anyway, and you watch the people messing around, or Saturday Night Live or the Carol Burnett Show, and someone starts cracking someone else up, and then all of a sudden it like makes it real? You want some of that. You want there to be some errors, some mistakes. You want to turn and be like, wait, what's going on? And the confusion, because then the audience is with you. Then they realize, like, wow, they're really making this up. So it takes the weight off your shoulders, and you don't have to worry about it being perfect. And when you're crazy and you throw in a little extra something, when you change the lyrics to be about the local place, or you throw in a little bit of choreography, say Lady Gaga tune, and you just start doing all kinds of weird stuff in the middle of it, the audience goes bananas. Or if you go to Mick Jagger and you go like this, with your lips, like the audience goes bananas because you're having fun with the song as they're having fun with it. And it's all happening in the moment. It's exciting and powerful. Time for number 6, or as they say in Germany, 6. Get in, rock, and get out. You do not need to do an entire song. In fact, it's much better if you don't. 90 seconds is plenty of the song for you to do. People request Bohemian Rhapsody all the time. We usually would start around Mama and just kill the man and do like one cycle of that and get into the guitar solo, and by the time you got to Bismuth, like you're done, right? Because that's enough of the song. You don't really have to do all of Bohemian Rhapsody. And moreover, you don't have to do the beginning part where you have to improvise the 4-part harmony, who's on this, whatever. Because one of the rules we always had is you never practiced requests. Don't practice. Because that sucks the life out of it. That sucks the immediacy out of it. You can practice how you do requests, but you don't go through the process of saying, like, now, if this song comes up, you take this part and you take this part. No. If a new tune becomes a big deal and you know everybody's gonna be requesting Old Town Road, then you send around a little YouTube link and you're like, hey guys, listen to this before tonight's concert because there are gonna be some high schoolers in the audience and the chances this doesn't get requested are 0. Then when it happens, you're good to go. And also something you should know about the whole process is if it's a song and nobody really knows it, boom. And the last one has to do the solo, which is really funny because then the whole audience is in on it and they know the person who's stepping forward to do the solo has no idea what they're doing. Which, by the way, you can just make up a song then. We got some songs where, like, there was a song that was popular in Germany was called 10,000 Bicycles in Beijing. And some woman would request this, and we'd be like, 10,000 bicycles in Beijing? So, like, I'd step forward and I'm like, I don't know, guys, give me a polka. 10,000 bicycles in Beijing, Beijing. Like, I'm making this up right now. I don't know that that's what we did, but the audience didn't care. Most people didn't know the song, and then everybody's clapping along and having a grand old time. Who knows? Who cares? We're having a blast. Number 7. End with a big medley. What we would like to do is take a few, we're like, okay, we're gonna end big now. We're gonna get a few requests, and then we would put them all together. So we'd go around and get this idea, and while I'm emceeing, the other guys behind me would be kind of listening, okay, you take this tune, you take that one, you take this. And by the time I would turn around and step, and I'd be like, guys, are we good? You know, maybe 7 songs or something like that. They'd be like, yeah, we're good. And I'd step back towards them, and someone would turn to me and say, like, you've got Yellow Submarine and Close to You by the Carpenters or whatever. And they usually would give me the old tunes because I was the old guy. Then someone would step forward and start something. And the whole time you're kind of thinking, like, how can I weave my song into theirs? Can we keep the same tempo going? So we'd sing a little piece of a song and then it'd kind of fade down to the percussion. You'd like point the percussion, keep it going, and you try to put your song on top of it, and then someone else would come in with their thing on top of it. And then at the end, whichever song was last, and the people who were in the back would decide, like, okay, we'll end with this song. You don't know which order the other things, but, like, you're definitely ending with Prince, Purple Rain, or you're definitely ending with, some big, rock tune. Then the other people would try to take the songs they had sung before and weave them back in. It wouldn't only have to be the ones from this end melody. It could be songs that had been sung earlier in the evening. So it becomes this giant mashup medley of all these things going on. And you build, big chord, boom, standing ovation. Because people are like, what did you just do? And what you just did was what you probably do while you're driving there, just messing around with a bunch of tunes. And yet with a little bit of organization like this, it ends up turning into a pretty amazing showpiece. Oh, and one last thing, if I didn't already say it, have fun. You may think that it's about precision, but nobody really cares if it's perfect. They just care if they have a good time and you have a good time. So once that is off your shoulders, you'll kill it. Anyway, hope this works for you. Hope you start taking requests too. It is so much fun. And if you have any questions about this, or you have any experiences with this, whatever, post them below. We'd love to hear your stories. See you next time.